this. So, Orange County, you had all the Democrats frothing at the mouth, right? They were going to flip this county blue. And they had gotten more and more violent from one city council meeting to another. And Aliso Viejo, one of them, grabbed my phone. I tried to press charges on him, he tried to press on me, I let it go, and the guy ran off. We had one crazy old lady grab at a friend of mine when she had a megaphone. They are going nuts. Because I think what they've seen, especially after June, whatever their plans were to turn this county blue, pretty much faded away. That's what I saw. I wouldn't worry about what the press says, Dana Rohrabacher maybe 2 points behind his challenger or something. I think that's a lot of spin. It's a lot of desperation to see that whatever anti-Trump momentum they've tried to build, it's just not there. I think especially because we've seen how crazy the Democrats have become. And the national conference, we've seen Democrats embracing these socialist positions, abolish ICE, abolish borders. I was at a demonstration today before I came here. Chris was with me. There's Chris. So he's from Lake Forest. He comes. By the way, he'll take public transit 3 hours from South Orange County to come to LA County. That's how committed he is. So I just want to say, if he can do it, you go into your local city council meeting, you really don't have an excuse not to. So we have hold signs, show large numbers. This is Camarillo. This was great. It was such a shock to me. A lot of people want to do something, they just don't know what steps need to be taken. And the things I had enumerated helped to make that happen. Don't be surprised if you have to go 2 or 3 times before things go your way. Thankfully with Orange County, the Board of Supervisors, they were ready to go before we showed up. Mission Viejo announced it. Tustin has been a tougher nut to crack. We have a lady named Darlene Savard. She has grown her coalition following these steps. They finally forced the Tustin City Council to have an agenda item. It'll be in September, but they've got something. For Torrance, also a tougher nut to crack. I do know that I have allies in the City Hall. It's an issue that we'll be able to take on formally in a few months' time. Sometimes it takes time. So, this to me is probably the most important part of what I share with different audiences. Many people, one of the reasons why they don't want to go out there, be vocal and be active, is dealing with the press, how they're going to be perceived, whether in the newspapers or on TV. They don't want to look bad, they don't want to be distorted, they don't want things to be spun against them. And those are very serious concerns. So these are the things that I share with people. This is what you do to avoid, so that you have the upper hand against the press. We need to accept it. It's still a liberal media. They still have Trump derangement syndrome. They're not going to accept it. It's our job to hold them accountable. So when you have an interview with the press, you always record your interactions. You can see this on my YouTube channel, on Gary Galino's Grindel 61. I think that Mike's done it. I know Gracie's done it. You record your interactions, especially with the press. You have every right to record them. They want to talk to you and get your points of view on an issue. You do get to record them, especially because whatever they may print, you've recorded it first, you've made it public first. So that whatever they try to distort, you've got something to fight back with it. You get your story out, not theirs. This was a mind shift for me. Most of us are pretty straight and narrow people. We want to be honest. We tell things like it is. We're not Democrats. We're not liberals. Liberals, leftists, progressives, they have to lie because they're propping up a fraud just to gain power. Just because a reporter asks you a question, you don't have to answer it. Just because a reporter wants to call out somebody on your side, you respond with calling out someone on the other side. One example. In Huntington Beach, I was there in early April. I understand the city attorney was a little worried when I showed up then, and I think he was worried about me coming today. I don't know, it's something I heard. Just to let the record show, I don't disrupt, the illegals do. They disrupted this country as soon as they crossed the border illegally. So someone had shouted out in the audience, "Get circumcised." There was a Jewish rabbi, leftist, open border, hasn't really read his Bible apparently. And I got Roxana Kopitman, she's the major writer for OC Register. She's like, "I've heard all these anti-Semitic comments. I hear all these anti-Semitic comments from the Trump side." I don't allow her to establish that as the narrative. I say, what comments did you hear? What comments did you hear? Well, get circumcised. Okay, well, who said that? How do you know that someone on our side said that? Where's the basis for it? By the way, and I switch, why didn't you make a point about the fact that there were brown supremacists, La Raza activists who told me to go back to Europe? Why don't you write that? Why aren't you writing about when they say deport white people? I actually heard that today outside of the LAPD headquarters when I was protesting for the sheriff, when I was protesting for ICE, that we should allow them to stay in this county, in this state, and to deport violent criminals. Why aren't you writing about that? Again, we tell our story. We don't fit into theirs. Very important. Don't be afraid to ask for the political views and to question their questions. I will never forget the exchange I had with two journalism students from Whittier College. And they came all the way from Whittier down to Torrance. They were willing to sit down and interview me. This was following Attorney General Javier Becerra means trash in Spanish, but I think it's more appropriate. So every time Becerra has a town hall, we show up and we shut it down. This man's a criminal. This man defends illegals and not Americans. This man has sued the Trump administration 38 times because it's political posturing. While we have homeless on our streets, veterans that aren't cared for, high density that's coming out our nostrils, while we have cronyism and corruption from the top to the bottom. I just read in LA County, a DA was sexually harassing a client, and the DA won't prosecute. Very disturbing. Where's Becerra? Why isn't he going after that? So at any rate, Whittier College, they come down, they talk to me, and so I asked them very plainly, so who did you vote for? I'm gonna ask them that. I want to know, because it's going to color what they report. And they said to me honestly, well, we voted for Hillary Clinton. Why? So I don't shame them, I don't demean them, although there's plenty of reason to do so. Why did you vote for her? Now their answer was, well, we see President Trump as a threat to the press, to free speech, to journalism. And I go, well, where's the proof for this? See, I question them now. I'm interviewing them. And honestly, that's what it will come to much of the time. They want to tell a story, you get to tell yours. So one thing led to another. They said, well, he's declared war on the media. And I said, where did he write that? I forced him, get out your phone, show me. Where did the president declare that war on the press, war on the media? So he selected an article from the New York Times, okay, so I know where we're going here, draws from one of the president's tweets, and he says, the fake news media is the greatest threat to our country. I go, yeah, it is. When we have a press that's lying to us, when we have a press that is ignoring certain issues and highlighting others, when we have a press that has one set of standards for the left and another standard for the right, that's a real problem. And those two journalists, they looked at me and they were shocked. They thought they were dealing with a rube who couldn't count to 10. And I turned the tables on them. And you'll be able to do the same. To say the least, they didn't print anything. But I got a video of it. I recorded it. And that was a video that got about 3,000 views. And as for what happened in Orange County, Roxana Kopetman, I called a friend of mine, her name is Robin Vinston, she's the head of We the People Rising. How many of you get her emails, We the People Rising? Okay, there should be more of you getting emails. So again, sign up on my list, I can get you in touch with her. So I called her first and I said, Roxana wants to talk to me about us, and we go to Orange County, we go to these different cities supporting opt-out of SB 54. And so, Robin says, she wants to create a narrative where this whole movement in Orange County is a bunch of outsiders. That we're coming in, these LA County people are the ones who are getting these Orange County people to do this. Which, I mean, just listening to it is pretty insulting. Orange County people are waking up. Orange County have been awake. You guys have been the resistance to the resistance for a long time. So I had that coming in, I knew what she was trying to do, and I was ready she wanted to play the hate group card, she wanted to go to previous articles that were written about me. I knew about it before she asked it, and I was prepared to answer that. I might be going ahead of myself a little bit. Anyway, that'll probably be the next slide, so let me hold off on that. Again, you're responsible for you, not others. Well, someone said this at a meeting. I didn't say that, so why are you asking me? Don't let them make you accountable for something else that someone else may have said. That's something the press loves to do to our side. And We're allowed to be adversarial. You'll notice how I punch back. I put those journalism students to the test who talk to me. I don't just sit there and let them run the show. Okay, they need you for a story. You don't need them. Okay, dealing with the press. Make sure you get them to see what you want them to see. So there are photographers that show up at these events. You know, they want to take photos that will make the Trump supporters look bad, and make the conservatives look evil, bad, and mad, and, you know, and nasty. But I remember this was outside of Mimi Walters' office in Irvine, and I actually said to the reporter, take a picture of this shirt. On that shirt is a picture of Reuben Morphine, a true American dreamer, executed by an illegal alien. Again, these are the dreamers that matter. Those are the families that are separated that I care about. I know the mother, Angie. She lives up in Monterey County. But they do it. So that helps. You can take control of what is published in the newspaper. So that guy in the gray shirt was yelling at me. He was saying that Trump is a Nazi and Trump is Hitler. We've heard this nonsense. And I simply asked him, would a Nazi recognize Jerusalem as the official capital of Israel? And he absolutely lost it. But this isn't the worst of it. Okay, I'll go to another picture. You see what I'm talking about. You are the public eye. Okay, so this is where we do have to be careful on our side. You are the public eye. Be guided by some basic principles. Avoid profanity. Yeah, I break this rule. Sometimes. I think most of you would probably do a better job than I do. Keep your hands to yourself. Yes, I have to talk about this. There was a great video that went viral. We the People Rising. They confronted Congressman Steve Knight in Simi Valley because he had voted to continue funding the government after President Obama issued the executive order for deferred action for parents of arrivals. Blatant anti-constitutional action. And they confronted Steve Knight, and Mike, he touched Steve Knight, and then Steve said, if you touch me again, I'll drop your ass. That's a video that went viral. It hurt. The congressman had to apologize. But that kind of interaction kind of blunted what the group was there for. Hey, we have illegal aliens that are now getting a free pass to stay. They can get government documents. And you funded the government to allow them to do that. That was gone. Everything was focused on Steve Knight's interaction. Keep your hands to yourself. As I said before, go to events with others, do not go alone. And it is getting crazy. I mean, I just told you, I went to Aliso Viejo, somebody grabbed my phone. I have, in LA, people try to, lots of people love to grab my phone. They don't like being recorded. I was in El Monte and somebody kicked my phone away, but a lot of people kicked in. I was able to get another phone. But don't go alone. Rehearse your talking points or appoint someone else to do the talking. This, again, connects with the press. If you're not comfortable, if you're not prepared to talk about, this is why I'm opposed to illegal immigration, or this is what's going on with the high density issue, or this is why I think the city attorney was right to stop that initiative to have a gun control provision in Huntington Beach. Whatever it is, if you're not ready to talk about it, make sure you have someone in your group who is. So like Mike might be, if he's there with you at one of those Huntington Beach meetings, and while you're there to stop high density, he's got a lot of the information about it. You have people talk to him. It's okay to do that. You don't have to answer the press. You don't have to speak on every issue. Oh, this is my favorite. Yes, this is what I wanted to talk about. If you do it right, you look good, and the opposition looks bad. Outside of Mimi Walters' office again, sometimes it bothers me. I don't like it when I read the press and I'm the disruptor, I'm called the violent one. And of course, we've been hit with other smears like white supremacist or Nazi or other perverse smears. But here, doing it right, following the steps that were followed, that crazy lady tried to grab my phone. Not only did 2 police officers have to pull her away, the OC Register got a nice photo of it. Who looks like the crazy? Who looks like the kook? Who looks like the bigot, the Nazi, the hate monger? They do. Guess what? They are. We know that. Progressivism is Nazism. Socialism is force, corruption, hatred. She was in tears. She tried to call for comfort. I've been to Mimi Walters' office a few more times. She never showed up again. That's the other thing too. You do it right, you make them look bad, they stop coming, and we keep coming. So, what do you want to do, Huntington Beach? I'm glad someone mentioned the charter city status you have. There's a lot of power there. This is a distinction I wasn't even paying attention to until this SB 54 issue came to the forefront. Because as a charter city, that was the basis for your city filing its own lawsuit against the state of California. And I tell you, what I understand, the lawsuit's already been fast-tracked, and I think that Huntington Beach has a very good chance of winning that lawsuit. State of California, yes. You have a really good chance there because you have that home rule issue that comes with your charter city status. Now there's good news with this. Okay, so first of all, you opt out of SB 54. We're not going to comply with this. You're interrupting our right to public safety, to provide safety for ourselves. You can also use this to reinstate your zoning. So when Sacramento wants to pass something that says, no, it may say R1, but you can put a couple granny flats in the back now because we passed a law. Go, no you can't, charter rule. Your density issues will go away because the state will have no recourse. Now I was up at North State, but I don't mind bringing up this idea to you too. Think outside the box. How about a constitutional carry ordinance for Huntington Beach? Why not? There's 200,000 people here. Crime is rising. And when seconds count, the police are minutes away. It's not their fault. There's only so many of them. Why not a constitutional carry ordinance for Huntington Beach? They're already trying to tell you that you have to protect illegal criminals and not citizens, and that's going to probably be shut down. They're trying to undermine your zoning, which your planning commission, which your city council established. And then some gun control freak wanted to pass an initiative in this city, right? To ban assault weapons? Does that also mean clubs and bats? Doesn't sound like they were very clear. Why not go the other way? Hey, you can carry. And there's this thing called the Second Amendment. And your city council members all took an oath, right? That was the argument why lots of us showed up in early April. You took an oath to uphold and defend the United States Constitution. So the state can't interrupt federal immigration law. Wait a minute, if that's true, and then they can't undo your zoning provisions, then they really can't take away your right to protect yourself either, can they? Talk to your police chief about it. I'm not the only one talking about this. Siskiyou County, they have a pathway forward. They're going to have a constitutional carry ordinance in Siskiyou County. Yes?
I'm sorry, but I have to disagree with you.
You know what? That's fine.
And I'm going to tell you exactly why.
You know what? I'm sorry, but I'm going to finish first. Because...
Let me finish my
No,
statement.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I have the microphone. And you know what? I'm going to finish. Thank you.
But I have the right to be heard.
Okay, so do
And
I.
I'm
Thank
going
you.
to tell you
Go ahead.
that because...
You know what? No, you don't. You know what? I'm going to practice what I practice in my city council meetings. I'm sorry.
I'm
You're
sorry.
being-
You
He's
have
gotten
to
set
listen.
off. Wow. I'm not even a city council meeting and already people starting stuff. Do you really think? I'm sorry. You need to sit down.
No, I don't.
Fine.
No, I
Sit
don't.
down.
Sit down.
Sit down. Everybody, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Are you getting all this? Sit down. Thank you. You don't have to put up with this. Look what I have to, I can't even go to a sit. Thank you. Have a seat. Rude. See what I have to put up with? And I'll tell you, I get him from the right as well as from the left.
Oh, he's insulted, he's leaving.
Okay, everybody wave, bye. Anyway, I've had people roast me alive because I support the state of Israel. Isn't that crazy? That's how nutty it's gotten on the quote-unquote right. I've had people go after me because I say illegal and not undocumented. I had that discussion today. But it's okay. We stand our ground. Hey, if I can do it, everyone else can do it. Thank you. Okay, CEQA exemptions. I talked about that. Reestablish your zoning rights. Tax relief. There's so many opportunities here when the city of Huntington Beach reestablished its home rule. I put secession up there just to see how you react to it, but I don't know if Huntington Beach could operate as its own state. This is more like for the 23 counties, but I see the way that the city of Huntington Beach operates, and well, let's just say you guys certainly run your business better than Sacramento runs the state. So let's just say that. Okay, so questions and comments. Let me go back over the stuff I talked about. So there's my email. Take a picture. Feel free to email me. I'm on social media. I have my YouTube channel back of sorts. I do ask for people's financial support. I have a PayPal. I'm honest with you. I'm able to do what I can, but it's financial support that's helped me to keep doing it and doing it well. I have a PayPal account. I'm also selling stuff. If you want to buy something, if you want to buy a hat, if you want to buy a banner, whatever, or nothing at all, it's okay. I'm just glad to be here. Really appreciate you allowing me to be here. Sorry I couldn't show you the videos. You know, just a give and take. You guys have been really patient, and this is your chance. You ask the questions, and I'll listen. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We have a raffle going, so could you bring up the tickets? We have a raffle where we give away half of the proceeds